I ordered the bricks you asked me to order, by the way. I put them in your office, so I don't know what you need to use them for, but I got them.
Dude, those bricks are
Mexican flags.
No joke,
So
man.
many of them.
Yeah, why'd you order Mexican flags?
Mexican murderous. Those bricks are murderous. You guys have seen the videos, right?
Have you guys ever been
could
close
die.
to the sound of a brick going through a car window?
No.
Yeah,
Believe it or not, no.
Okay. You may not believe this, but it sounds eerily close to a gunshot.
How close were you?
30 feet.
I need more context.
30
here.
feet.
all you need to
Why
know
were
is
you-
Sacramento, dude.
Yeah. No context given. No context granted.
Okay.
Just if you're close enough, it sounds like
Dude,
it's
they're
loud and
launching
it's a
these
gunshot.
things off of like the highway overpass from 100 feet up down onto cops.
Whoa.
That shit is terrifying. The things that I've seen in the last week from the LA riots are just
So just to be clear, is this
Terrifying.
thing just confined to like downtown LA? Like, because sometimes you hear things and you're like, oh my God, the whole
no,
county's
I believe
burning.
it's very confined.
Okay.
To like not one area, but like small groups. You know, it looks so bad when you see it online. You just assume LA, all of it's on fire.
Is it only LA or is this happening in
There's
San
nationwide,
Diego? Is San Diego having anything?
Protests.
I'm like very suburban.
My wife said that on the 14th, there's a protest. So
Because there's a
This Saturday.
Isn't it like Trump's special day? So everyone's protesting.
Oh, I think he's doing like a military parade, like a Flag Day parade.
something about
A
it being
military
his
parade?
like.
Yeah.
I think it's like his birthday or something.
That's not dictatorshly at all.
No, I think it's only going to cost us like $42 million to get
great.
all the equipment
Yeah,
there and
it's
then
his
redo
birthday,
the roads.
June 14th is his birthday.
Oh, shit.
That's why he's having a.
Wow. That's
He's doing a
very
military parade
dictator
on his birthday. Oh god.
Have we ever rolled tanks in the street to celebrate something? Other than like coming home from World War II, maybe? I don't know. Because they just actually had to transport them, not because.
Not that I can remember, but I don't pay attention to this stuff.
We haven't celebrated war in a while.
I thought he was going to do, what's the anniversary we have coming up? Like a 250th? Yeah, a 250th America birthday anniversary.
I like that. That's next year, right?
Yeah, next year, I assume on July 4th. But he wanted to have a whole year of like celebrating the 250th birthday. He wanted to have like games, like mini Olympic games, but for like high school students. He wanted to like be all America and including the most massive military parade on the face of the earth. But I did not know he was doing it on his birthday.
Yeah.
Military parades are so weird. Like, there's no universe where I would be like, you know what we need right now? A military parade.
Has everybody
seed.
seen the videos?
I've
of
seen the
riots?
videos. I just don't know what's real on the internet anymore. And even if it is real on the internet, like, I don't know, like, are people actually protesting, or is this some like weird, like, funded freaking like Psyop or something? You know,
Totally.
like how many people? I still can't grasp like who's like going out into the streets and like marching.
Well, what you're talking about is fascinating because it's not just about this. Like what you're observing is a reality that exists in this time about every single topic. In the last 5 years since COVID, every single thing that has happened, I've heard the exact same reaction. And I think that's only going to get worse. I don't know what's real is the theme.
Yep.
I don't know what's theater and what's reality, and it's only getting worse and worse and worse until reality just starts to disarray into an illusion of nihilism, and no one knows
Is that
what
it?
truth is.
I was curious, like, what's the prevailing feeling people get when they don't know what's true? Is it like apathy or nihilism or like?
Yeah, it's like
Depends on who you are.
Yeah, it depends on who you are, but I think a lot of people like just opt out. A lot of people get like very fearful. A lot
Is
of
opting out like the healthy response? Because I actually feel like
Yeah,
I think most people are going to go into a pit of like nothing ever happens.
Eric, tell me what to feel. Should I just choose the apathy route? Like I just don't.
No, obviously you should care about things, and I think like having emotion and passion is incredibly valuable. But like how you direct that is important, and you know, like I think it's easy to get misguided in, like particularly when you're being like intentionally misled all the time.
It's funny because like this is the most least hurtful version of this. The most hurtful is when people don't know what to believe, and or you know, you go a step further and it's like them believing what they're seeing and then taking like additional violent actions, and it just kind of like spirals out of control. I think last week, I don't think Armand, you were here, but I think I mentioned to Eric and Steven this incredibly cringy movie called Mountainhead. But the basis of the plot was, they released these, amazing AI tools that no one can tell what's what, and just chaos literally ensues around the globe. And you're like, I can see it.
I started watching that movie. I didn't get far enough.
Yeah, because it's terrible.
Well, and shit's going
Somebody
on
else
in my life.
independently brought that movie up to me in a conversation.
Oh, is
last
this the
week
new
and said
one?
It was awesome.
In
Yeah,
theaters?
Steve. No. It's it's on
Steve
HBO.
Carell?
Steve Carell and
Yeah. I heard it's a bad movie, but it's good in the sense that it is worth watching to see how Silicon Valley is thinking about
probably documentary
all
in a way.
this and what it's like.
I was telling my wife, I was like, this is terrible. She's like, why are you still watching? I was like, I need to close the loop. I just need to finish it.
That's valid. It's funny because you have a very high believability weighting in my brain. So when you tell me things, I just assume it's true. And there's a lot of evidence I need.
Thank you,
before
Steven. How many individuals exist in this tier for you? Believability
in
tier?
Nick tier?
Yeah.
Oh, very few.
Oh, thank you.
Nick
I'll sell
tier-
for
Nick tier
A or
is,
B tier.
I don't think Nick's even ever made a joke to me. I think everything he says is just I just assume it's raw, unfiltered,
Bonnie, Jesus Christ,
highly processed. Yeah, it's Jesus, Nick. So it's funny because I ended up in a conversation last week with some people just talking about Mountainhead, about how good the movie was, and I hadn't seen the movie. My only impression of it was Nick talking about how bad the movie was. So immediately, my impression of these people is oh, these people must be
no.
dumb.
It was a wasted plot line. The plot line is kind of that would be a good movie, but they just tore up the screenplay into cringy line after cringy line, and it wasn't. None of it's believable. Humans don't, even in a comedic, sarcastic movie, don't talk like that.
It'd be funny to know to what degree you disagreed with them, having not watched the movie but just only heard Nick.
Yeah,
you're just wrong.
I'm trying to figure out how I feel right now.
I'm trying to figure out how I feel.
What
too.
anything means.
Yeah, I don't. I'm at the point right now where I think everybody in my X feed is just a fucking psyop, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think every account I follow is basically a psyop at this point. I worry that all the comedians on the podcast are compromised, and they're just oh, people who make you laugh, those are the best people to
Tim
compromise.
Dillon got attacked for that. He was oh, you're
I
part
feel
of the
I
problem.
believe Tim Dillon.
Did you hear what he said?
Some of these guys,
He said he's basically been invited to these tech company.
Oh
maybe
yeah, he's
Palantir
I've been
dinners,
invited
and
to Peter Thiel's house and stuff.
we just want to
and
talk about the media. Come on over.
Shit.
bro. It's so fucked these days.
because they are the media. Of course, they're being invited to these things.
Dude, it was so much better when we just discovered independent media. We were the only people who knew about it, and we just listened to it, and it was
We
all
had a
raw
source
and
of truth.
unfiltered.
Yeah.
And now we're in the phase where
They're being bought.
all the powers that be know that that's the thing that we know, and so they're buying up all the fucking people who we used to be able to, and now I can't trust anything anymore. Everything is
until there's an alternative news source or outlet that
I know, but we
provides
gotta, run
the
back
same-
the whole entire playbook again. It's so exhausting.
That's
I liked
interesting.
being able to thoughtlessly outsource my thinking to a person who I trusted who was outside of this bubble. And now that all that's corrupted, I have to individually think through everything again. And it's
podcasters are the least of my worries.
What about
honestly.
us? The listeners of
I got paid off a long time ago, brother.
The Alfalfa podcast listeners.
Why do you think I still show up?
I don't know if you're aware about this, but this podcast makes no money, so there's no. this is about as authentic
So
as it
we're
gets here.
immune. We're immune to control because we just have
Until we
no-
take the money.
That is correct.